Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the European Aquatics Junior Diving Championship of Rzeszów. I am Michele Benedetti for you once again, ready to watch the Girls B platform final. As always, 12 divers in this event, 3 dives per diver. First up is Audrey Gabriel Razlavichute, Natalia Bosquet from Spain, Mirto Carziotti from Greece, Katarina Gold, Germany, her teammate Jules Eisenberg, from Bulgaria, number 6, Eva Erminova, from Great Britain, Kate Gardner, from Italy, Marianna Cannone, also from Italy, Viola Bellato, from Ukraine, Aliza Mieszkova, also from Ukraine, Karina Lizina, Sky Fisheries from Great Britain, the winner of this morning's preliminary round. 12 divers on the platforms. They are allowed to use all 3 platforms, the 5 meters, 7 meter, and 10 meters. 3 dives from 3 different groups of dives. Seconds, the judges will be presented. In the meantime, as I told you before, we had this morning Sky Fisheries winning this event at 332.55 points. Karina Lizina in second, Aliza Miskova in third. Last year, this event was won by Karina Lizina at 200 with 298.35 points. Here you have the panel of judges on screen for you. The ladies are getting ready, going up on the platforms. I was checking right now, as always, in the junior events. I repeat myself, but just to make it clear, and for the new ones on this channel, the ladies are starting with the scores. They're starting this final, carrying on the scores of the first 4 dives of the morning session. In first place at the moment is Sky Fisher-Eames, Viola Bellato in second, and Jule Eisenberg in third. The 2 Ukrainians following the top 3 divers. And so, but they're all still very close. Sky has a 9 points lead in front of Viola Bellato. The other ones are all very close together. So we'll see what happens. Just 3 dives in this final. 3 optional dives. 3 different group of dives must be performed. And it seems like we are ready. We have our first diver on the platform from Norway, Audrey Raslavichut. Probably just a few seconds to wait. You're supposed to start at 4 o'clock sharp, less than a minute to go. So that's most likely what the referee is waiting for. And I was checking the dive list. There are only 4 divers competing all of their dives in this final from the 10-meter platform. These are Jule Eisenberg, Eva Ereminova, Alisa Mieszkova, and Karina Lidzina. So the 2 Ukrainian, a Bulgarian, and a German diver. The other ones are using also the 5 and 7-meter platform. They're allowed to do so. It's a young age group. Once again, these ladies were born in 2009 and 2010, so 13, 14, 15 years old. 14 and 15. 14 and 15 years old, all of them, and so very young. They're most likely, not all of them have their optional ready on 10 meters. They're building up their list of dives on the 10-meter platform, so they use the 5 and 7-meter platform to do what will become their lead-ups. Once again, the dive order here on screen for you. You're still waiting. I honestly don't know why. I am ready to watch some diving. There must be something going on with the computers probably, or the tablets that the judges use to give the awards. Once again, this event last year was won with 298.35 points by Karina Lidzina, who's here today competing, and definitely once again looking for not only a medal but the gold medal. She has a very hard list. Her 3 optionals on 10 meters are quite complicated. Well, not complicated, but for this age, they're she has a very good list of optionals on 10 meters. She's performing also especially the armstand back double somersault 1.5 twist, 3.2 degree of difficulty, which is with the back 2.5 somersault 1.5 twist competed by Jule Eisenberg, are the 2 hardest dive of the afternoon here, or on not the afternoon, but on these in this competition for sure. And we will see Karina Lidzina doing the back armstand on the second round, while Jules Eisenberg will close her competition on the last round, the third round of optionals, with the back twister. Is Jules Eisenberg? I was checking again while we are still waiting. I was checking again the start list, and it's Jules Eisenberg that has the hardest list. All of her dives are, as I said before, from the 10-meter platform. She's competing the inward 2.5 somersault pike, forward 3.5 somersault pike, and the backward twister, as I said before, 2.8, 3, and 3.2. So that's a total degree of difficulty on her optionals of 9.0. And as they're saying on deck, some technical problems with the computers and the scoring system, so we gotta wait still a little bit. And I was telling you how Jules Eisenberg from Germany has the hardest list, did the same exact dives in the morning. Didn't do that well though. 5.5 on the inward 2.5 somersault pike, 4 on the forward 3.5 somersault pike, and the back twister also for 3.5 and 4. So she could do much better than that. She starts her final at 158 points. She ended up lower in the rankings in the prelims that definitely have as a list capable of getting her in the top 3 spots. An excellent job by Sky Fisher this morning. She has no optionals on 10 meters. Actually, considering she's her second year in this age group, she was born August 30, 2009, so she'll move on to the Group A next year. She does not have her optionals on 10 meters yet. Also, the forward 2.5 somersault pike and the inward 2.5 somersault tuck are performed on the 7 meters. Usually at this age, the athletes should start doing these dives on 5 and turn them into a lead up, a test for the optional on 10 meters. So adding an extra somersault on the 10 meter. While Sky doesn't do that yet, or maybe she does it in practice, not in the competition, in order to have a little bit more room to complete those dives and get higher scores. She did exactly that in the morning. Excellent job for her in the morning session and won the prelims with a solid 30, almost 32 points lead. So excellent job. And she's also the one that had the best required dives in the morning session, so she starts ahead of everyone else by 9 points this afternoon in the finals. Still a little bit to wait. Apparently the problems with the scoring system haven't been solved yet. And all the team leaders have been called. They've been called to speak with the referee. And from my position, I don't know why. I will investigate a little bit and we'll keep you posted on that. We apologize for this delay. So while we're waiting, we spoke a little bit about this upcoming event, the Girls B Platform Final. After that, event, we will have the boys B 3-meter springboard final. And that preliminary round took place around noon this morning, and saw the Ukrainian diver Valery Maliev winning just 2 points ahead of Finn Aoe and Dimitro Stepanov in third. They're all very close, within 6 points. It was a very good event. Some great diving from these young divers. Some also hard dives for very young athletes. Once again, also the boys are 14 and 15 years old. It's gonna be an interesting event. We'll see this later, and after that we also have another final, third final this afternoon, which is going to be the girls A and B group Synchro 3-meter springboard final. In that event, we will have 10 teams: Ukraine, Romania, Great Britain, Georgia, Sweden, Hungary, Germany, Turkey, Poland, and Italy. That Synchro event last year was won by Team Great Britain ahead of Team Italy. Team Great Britain did an incredible job last year, winning by 37 points ahead of Team Italy, and Team Sweden in third, just less than a point behind Team Italy. So there was quite a battle there for the medals. Seems like they fixed everything. So don't know really what happened there. And we are ready with a little 10 minutes delay, but we are now ready to start the girls B platform final here in Rzeszów. Audrey Raslavichut been there ready for a while now. Referee blows the whistle, and we can start now. Perfect. Back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twist for the Norwegian diver. For Audrey, total score of 39 points this morning on this dive. Let's see if she can do better than that. Not bad, not bad. She's somewhat vertical, a little bit slow in the somersault, needed a stronger push off the platform. Overall, an okay job. 5.5, same exact score as this morning for the Norwegian diver. And now on the 10-meter platform, Natalia Bosquet. From Spain, inward 2.5 somersault pike. Job on the takeoff. She's fast enough to finish her 2.5 somersault inward. On the entry, she does not place her hands very well, and the entry is quite heavy. Unfortunately for the Spanish diver, she could have scored much higher with a cleaner entry. That's the one thing I would have fixed in this dive. Waiting for the judges. Well, this was supposed to be a fast event, only 3 dives. It's taking longer than expected. Hopefully there will be a long enough break in between this final and the next one for the boys to warm up on 3 meter. Here are the awards. 5.5, 5.5, 6 for Natalia. 47.60 on this dive, and she's in first. Now on the 7 meter platform, Mirto Carziotti. A forward 2.5 somersault pike for the Greek diver. 2.4 degree of difficulty. Good job. She's very tight in the entry. The jump is not the highest. That could be a dive that could have been jumped higher, brought higher in the air, but definitely a very good way of lining up. Strong pushes with their hands to the water. 7s from the judges. An excellent job by the Greek diver. And now from Germany, Katharina Golbs. Inward 2.5 somersault pike on 10 meter platform, 2.8 degree of difficulty for her. Taking a long time here before the takeoff. Good job. Another inward 2.5 somersault pike, as we've seen before by the Spanish diver Natalia. That is very well executed in the air. Perfect pike position. Just needed a cleaner entry here for higher scores. 6.5. So it's not a bad dive at all. With 201 points, she takes the lead. Her teammate Jules Eisenberg, same dive for her, which we also we'll see being performed by Eva Ereminova right after. Jules Eisenberg, as I said earlier, the hardest list in this competition is performed by this German diver. Let's see how she does, because this morning was an excellent. Oh, very good job. Nice dive. Much better than the morning. Very fast in the somersault. Gets a perfect vertical entry, and 58.80. She is ahead of everyone else. And for her, a much better job than the morning. 12 points more than what she did in the morning. Good start of the competition for her. Eva Reminova, also for her, the inward 2.5 somersault pike. Eva got 49 points this morning. Let's see how she does here. Also for her, perfectly vertical, and not as well as the German diver before her because of the entry. Perfectly vertical is just when it's time to place her hands on the water and get a clean entry. She doesn't do that very well. 6.5. Not bad at all, though. It's a good overall dive. Kate Gardner, forward 2.5 somersault full twist for the British diver on the 10 meter platform. .9 degree of difficulty for her. And she needs 81 points. Means 9.5 to get first place. Not gonna happen. The dive is just falling to the water way too fast. She was running very fast on that approach on the platform and jumps way too fast towards the water. But that's a good job. Getting it vertical. 191. At the moment, she's in 4th place. Marianna Cannone on the 7 meter platform. Forward 2.5 somersault pike for the Italian diver. The Italian diver who had quite a mistake on the reverse dive pike in the second round this morning. Not a great required dive, only 27 points. That's why she was trailing a little bit behind. It's a good job here. The entry is quite clean, but slightly short. Didn't get the strongest push off the platform, but definitely very, very clean. 50 points for her. Also her, she's at 191.15 as the diver before her, Kate Gardner. Viola Bellato, the other Italian diver, doing a back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist from the 5 meters platform. She did a great job on the voluntaries this morning. She starts at 160. She was in second place after 4 rounds, after the required dives in the morning. Let's see how she does in the final. A good dive, very clean in the entry. I've seen her in the past in other competitions jump much higher than what she's done here. The dive is good, very clean in the entry. Not the strongest jump off the platform, but definitely very good execution. Puts her in second place, right behind Jules Eisenberg. Just 1 point behind. Good job by the Italian diver. Alisa Miskova, 10 meters, inward 2.5 somersault pike. A good dive. You see it here from the underwater shot how this diver, Alisa, does not pike safe underwater. So when I say pike safe, she doesn't do that extra somersault underwater as fast as possible in order to get a clean entry. She just goes as deep as possible to the bottom of the pool straight, in a straight line. That causes the entry not to be very, very clean. But she does a good job overall. 50 points, 199.15, and she's in 4th place at the moment. Karina, her teammate and the champion of last year junior Europeans on this 10-meter platform final in this age group. Reverse 2.5 somersault tuck for her. An excellent dive in the air all the way until the kick out of the somersault, that they come out. She does do that very well at the right time, but not completely tight, so the entry could have been a little bit cleaner. But an excellent job with 58 points. She's now in 1st place. Excuse me, she's in 3rd place. I apologize. 7.55 points behind Jules Eisenberg. We have on the platform the winner of the morning session for 2.5 somersault pike for Sky Fisher Ames. Good job, very completely vertical in the entry. I don't think this is going to be as good as the one she did in the morning, because the entry, it is straight but not clean, and dive also is not very fast. She got 55 points in the morning. Let's see what Sky gets in the afternoon. As I said, not as good as the one in the morning. 7.77, still a very good job that puts her in 1st place. We have the rankings now in just a couple of seconds. Here they are. Sky Fisher Ames in 1st, Jules Eisenberg in 2nd, and Viola Bellato in 3rd. But they're all still very, very close. We got 2 more rounds to go. We are starting the 2nd round with Audrey on the 7-meter platform. And for her, a back 2.5 somersault tuck. Oh, it was a great takeoff by the Norwegian diver. Waits a little bit too long. Definitely waits too long before the kick, and the lineup ends up going over by quite a bit. 4.5 and 5s, 206.20 points for Audrey. Natalia from Spain now on 10 meters forward, 3.5 somersault tuck for her. She was in 11th place after the first optional. A chance here with the dive from 10 meters to score high and get ahead in the rankings. An excellent job on the takeoff and in the somersault, just rolls over too much when entering the water. Not a clean entry, probably 5.5s. Yes, 5.5s and a couple of 6s that don't come into count here. 5.5 are the scores that matter for her here. Spanish diver gets up at 227.55 points. Right now in the lead. Mirto from Greece. For her, inward 2.5 somersault tuck from the 7.5 meters platform. She was at 187 points. Taking some time before the takeoff. Focusing for a long time. Way too forward. This long time that she takes before the takeoff doesn't get penalized, but definitely makes the diver overthink the dive, overfocus. Sometimes just too many thoughts just confuse the diver. I don't know if this was the case. Some other divers require a long time just to get their focus, and then they still do a great job, but sometimes could be just too much overthinking the dive. Next up, Katarina Golbs, back 2.5 somersault pike on 7 meter. Very hard dive. Very, very hard dive, 3.0 degree of difficulty. We usually see this dive being performed on the 7 meters, on the 10 meters, or tuck on the 7 meter platform. Excellent job by Katarina. An awesome takeoff, very good dive. I was not expecting this dive to be performed on the 7 meter platform, but she does a very good job. 60 points, the best option of these competitions so far. And she did a much better job than what she did in the morning. Only 43 points for her. Now 60. Excellent execution of the back 2.5 somersault pike by the German diver. Now on the 10 meter platform, we move on to Jules Eisenberg, the leader after the first optional. Excuse me, the second place for her, and after the first optional for 3.5 somersault pike for the German diver. And a very good takeoff, perfect pike position. The entry gets too many splashes out of the water. Too bad, because this would have scored very, very high with a perfect score. Still an excellent job by Jules. 270.95 sixes for her. And she gets 9 points ahead of her teammate Katarina. Eva Reminova now forward 2.5 somersault, full twist. Pike, yes, 2.9 degree of difficulty, 10 meter platform for Eva. Good dive by the Bulgarian diver. Not very fast in the somersault, but it's just a 2.5 somersault. Doesn't need to be too fast. She does a great job at lining it up. 7s for her, 60.90 points. Excellent job by Eva Ereminova on this second optional. Kate Gardner back 2.5 somersault tuck on 7 meters. Kate needs 79 points to get ahead of Jules Eisenberg. Very hard. Very difficult to do that with a 2.8 degree of difficulty. Needs greatness. See how she does. The dive is good, it's vertical, probably just too much of an arch on her back when getting in the water. That's why the entry is not the cleanest. 53.20 points. She's in 4th place, Kate, with 244.95 right now. Marianna Cannone, we still have the 2 German divers in 1st and 2nd place at 270 and 261 for Marianna, who's sitting at 191. She'd need 79 points. That's 9.5s. Inward 2.5 somersault tuck. Don't think that is going to happen, but you never know. In diving, everything is possible. Excellent takeoff by the Italian diver. Not tight at all in the entry. She's too arched when hitting the water. Doesn't get a clean entry, unfortunately for her. 44.55, and she's in 5th place at the moment. Her teammate, Viola Bellato, on the 7-meter platform. Forward 2.5 somersault pike. And Viola now needs 55 points to take the lead. She does this forward 2.5 somersault pike standing. Needs 7.5s to take the lead on this dive. The dive is good. Not very high. She's very fast in getting the pike position, dropping her shoulders down before the finish of the push. Is very good in the entry, slightly short. 50.40, and the Italian diver is in between the Germans at 265, just 5 points behind the leader, Jules Eisenberg. And now is, after the Italians, is the Ukrainians' time on the platform. Forward 3.5 somersault pike by Aliza Miskova. 3.0 degree of difficulty. And for Aliza, 71.80 points to take the lead. That is possible, but needs a great dive. That is not going to happen, unfortunately. Aliza rolls the entry, goes quite over. When she comes out, her head is tilted down. She drops her chin towards her chest and over rotates by quite a bit. 5s from the judges for Aliza. Her teammate Karina Lizina, she was in 4th place after the first round of optionals. Arms and back double somersault 1.5 twist. The first of the 2 dives we'll see in this competition of 3.2 degree of difficulty. Very complicated. Back arms and not many divers at this age perform this dive. First of all, she has to hold the armstand. Stay there at least a couple of seconds. Good takeoff. The dive is quite short. She didn't get a great push with her arms and shoulders on the takeoff. Quite short in this entry. Not an excellent dive. 5.5, 5.5, 6. The degree of difficulty, the high degree of difficulty helps her getting at 54 points on this dive. Not an excellent execution of this back armstand. And now Karina is in 3rd place. Now the winner of this morning prelims, Sky Fisher-Ames, inward 2.5 somersault tuck. Sky needs 51 points to take the lead with this 2.7 degree of difficulty dive. Great dive. Too bad the entry. She just doesn't disappear completely underwater with a perfect grip entry. The dive is well executed. It's fast enough to get it vertical. She does take the lead. 6.5, 7s. Too bad. With a great entry, this would have been straight 8s in my opinion. Now we have the standings after 2 rounds of optionals before their last round of dives. Sky Fisher-Ames still leading Jules Eisenberg in 2nd at 270, just 5 points behind, and another 5 points behind the German. There's Viola Bellato in 3rd. Don't count Karina Lizina out of the medal contention, and neither Katarina Goebbels, because they're right behind Viola Bellato just 2 and 4 points behind. Another exciting event. We start the last round of dives with Audrey Razlavichut from Norway. Forward 2.5 somersault pike for her on the 7-meter platform. Perfectly vertical, but quite heavy in the entry. She was in 12th place before this last round. 5.5s for her from the judges. She closes at 2:45.80. Back 2.5 somersault tuck on 5 meters for Natalia Busquet. Quick reminder for the people listening that are not used to the scoring system in diving. We have 7 judges. We drop the top 2 scores and the lowest 2 scores, and add together the 3 remaining ones and multiply those 3 scores by the degree of difficulty. And last dive of Natalia Busquet, quite short back 2.5 somersault tuck. She probably, with this kind of takeover, she should have probably done that dive on the 7-meter platform in order to get it vertical. Way short, not enough room to complete the second and the 2.5 somersault and get vertical. Only 3s from the judges, and Natalia closes at 2:54.55. Next up, again on 5 meters, back 1.5 somersault pike for Mirto Carziotti. Good dive, and the takeoff was well executed, very fast. This back 1.5 somersault pike, probably too fast because she ends up going over. Not a bad dive, just the entry is over and not very clean. 6.5. She closes 267 points. Katerina Golbs, here we have the first one looking for a medal. The first one in the dive order. She was at 261.15, just 4 points behind Viola Bellato, who was in third. Reverse 2.5 somersault tuck for the German diver. This morning for her on this dive, only 36 points, and she wants much more here. She's probably definitely scoring more than this morning, but this is quite short dive. Her head she picks up her head way too early in the somersault, looking backwards too early, and ends up being short. But 3:11.55, that's where we set the bar for the medals in this final. Now her teammate, Jules Eisenberg, back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twist for Jules. Only 35 points in the morning in this dive, and definitely wants more than that here in this final. Jules needs 40 points to get ahead of her teammate Katarina, who just dove right before her. 3.2 degree of difficulty. This could help her score high, the highest degree of difficulty in this last round. A bad entry, still completely in a pike position. The takeoff was too slow, didn't have enough speed to get straight and vertical. 43.20, and she's in first place in front of her teammate by 3 points, but this is quite a mistake. She's not sure anymore of getting a medal, because there are at least 3 more divers that have mathematically a chance, more than 3 divers that have mathematically a chance of getting ahead of her. One of these divers is Eva Ereminova, back 2.5 somersault tuck from the 7.5 meters. 2.8 degree of difficulty. She needs a great dive. With 7.5, she could get ahead of the Germans. Don't know if that's gonna happen. Takeoff was good, fast enough, but when she comes out, pulls with her shoulders back, too hard, slightly over. 303.80 points, and she's behind both. She's behind Jule Eisenberg from Germany, who's still in the lead. Kate Gardner now, inward 2.5 somersault tuck, 2.7 degree of difficulty. At the moment, we have Jule Eisenberg and Katarina Golbs and Eva Eremenova in the top 3 spots. And for Kate Gardner, 69 points will give her the lead. That's 8.5. Not gonna happen. It's way too short. Comes out way too early and never gets straight. Not only she's not vertical in the entry, she's also still in a pike position. 3.5, 4 and 4. Big mistake for Kate on this last round. 276. Now Marianna Cannone back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist on the 5-meter platform for the Italian. Good entry for the Italian. The twist is too early off the platform. She needed to jump higher, but the dive overall is vertical and quite clean. 6s, she closes at 280.70 points in 4th round right now. And we have the third, the diver who's standing in 3rd place after 2 optionals. Viola Bellato on the platform ready for her inward 2.5 somersault tuck. Viola needs 48.40 points to get ahead of Jule Eisenberg. Big mistake for the German. Again, 48 points, 0.40 on this 2.7 degree of difficulty dive. That means 6s for the Italian to take the lead. And that is not going to happen. Way too far over for Viola Bellato. This dive that is not that complicated. She just jumps way too far from the platform and drops her head in the entry, going way too far over rotates past the vertical line in the entry. Quite heavy entry for her. Too bad. Definitely not 6s from the judges here. Let's see what they think though. Four and a half, 5.5 and 304.90 points. Viola Bellato is ahead of Eva Eremenova in 3rd place at the moment. But unless we're going to see some big mistakes by the Ukrainians, especially by Karina Lidzina, it's going to be very hard for the Italian diver to get a medal here. And once again, the scores for Viola Bellato on screen. Alisa from Ukraine, Alisa Mishkova, a forward 2.5 somersault full twist for the Ukrainian diver. Good job on this dive this morning. 55 points for her this morning on this dive. Let's see. She would need 71.50 to take the lead. It's an excellent dive. Once again, this entry going in a straight line towards the bottom of the pool. Luckily for her, this time around, she does a better job than earlier. And she's in 3rd place right now, 7.5, 7.5, and 7 by the judges. 63.80 points. Great dive by the Ukrainian. Let's see her teammate looking for gold here. Karina Lidzina. She was 12 points behind Sky Fisher-Ames from Great Britain, looking for a medal on this inward 2.5 somersault pike. And with a great dive, she could also aim for gold. A good dive by the Ukrainian, slightly arched in the entry, tiny bit arched in the entry. This could score, yeah, she scores 57.40 and she takes the lead at 321.20 ahead of Jules Eisenberg. Big mistake by the German. Now Ukrainian diver Karina Lizina is in first. 321. So Sky on 5 meters back, 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist, and Sky needs 46 points to take the lead. Oh, perfect entry by the British diver. And this easy back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist. Let's see what the judges think. And we have a new European Junior champion on the platform, Girls B. Sky Fisher-Ames, after winning this morning preliminary round, she also wins the final with 326 points, 5 points ahead of Karina Lizina, and in third place for Jules Eisenberg. Excellent competition by these young ladies. Some great diving. And you see on screen the official results. Sky Fisher-Ames in first, Karina Lizina in second, and Jules Eisenberg in third. So this has been fun. Been a bit longer than expected for the technical problems we had at the beginning. In 15 to 20 minutes, we'll have the boys B 3-meter final. I'm Michele Benedetti. I'll be back here shortly for that second final of the day. See you in a bit. Welcome back. We are back in Rzeszów for the second final of the day. Boys 3-meter springboard final. Boys B 3-meter springboard. We have 12 divers as always in this final. 4 dives per diver. We will be watching their presentation shortly, just a couple of minutes. Have you checked out the new EuroAqua app in the meantime? It's available to download from the App Store and Google Play. Make sure you register to get all the exclusive content of these and other European Aquatics competitions. You can access live results, exclusive content, real-time updates, behind the scenes, and more all from your phone. EuroAqua, the app of the European Aquatics. The boys have been called for their presentation. A little delay in the start of this final due to the delay of the previous final for technical problems. Last year, this event was won by Mark Rishenko from Ukraine, 460.15 points. Second place for Oliver Heat. And third place for Martinas Lizauskas last year. In the morning, we had Valery Malyeyev in first place at 429. Finn Au from Germany in second, and Dimitros Stepanov in third place. Still a few seconds to wait. I remind you that, as always, we start these 4 rounds in the final, only optional dives. So no limit in the degree of difficulty, and the divers carry on the scores of the dives with the limited degree of difficulty of the preliminary rounds, so the first 5 rounds, in which the degree of difficulty was 9.5 altogether. So in these rankings, in this final, we have Valery Malyeyev, who not only won the preliminary round, but also had the highest score after the 5 required dives. The dives with the limit in the degree of difficulty. Valery Malyeyev in first at 203.05. Marco Valenti from Italy in second at 199.20. Dimitros Stepanov in third place at 197.15. But they're all very, very close between Valery Malyeyev in first and Finn O in sixth place. Only 8 points difference. Excuse me, 9 points difference. So they're all very, very close. Anything can happen in 4 rounds of optionals. This morning, as I said, Valery Malyeyev did a great job both in the voluntary dives, in the required dives, the ones with the limited degree of difficulty, and also in the optionals, where he even got 67 points on his forward 2.5 somersault full twist. Very high scoring dive for this age group. And you can hear the music. We're ready for the presentation of the 12 divers that are going to take action in this final. Here they are. Boys B 3-meter springboard finalists. First one from Italy, Marco Valenti. Simon Gray from Great Britain. Eric Richter from Austria. Baptiste Alamanno from France. Pekka Kaupinen from Finland. Alexander Sokomelidze from Georgia. Anton Pinkowski from Germany. Davide Barberi from Italy. Pierre de Persin from France. Dimitro Stepanov from Ukraine. Finn Awe from Germany. And Valery Malyayev from Ukraine. Boys are gonna get ready. A couple of minutes and then we'll start. Marco Valenti first on the springboard. We have the judges being presented and then we'll start. Final, the hardest dive being performed today is the forward 3.5 somersault pike, 3.1 degree of difficulty. Dimitro Stepanov does that dive, and Alexander Sokomelidze does that dive also. Only them, two divers, and there are a few more that perform the forward 2.5 somersault foot twist, 3.0 degree of difficulty. There are a few more divers that do that dive. There's also a 3.0 degree of difficulty, Pierre de Persin from France, that is doing the forward 1.5 somersault with triple twist. Here we have once again the dive order on screen. Ready now. Hear the referee blow his whistle, and the first diver is up on the springboard. Marco Valenti from Italy, a back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist. He starts at 199.20 with his final. That was the score with his first 5 dives in the morning. A very clean entry for the Italian diver. Definitely an easy dive, just 2.4 degree of difficulty, but very well executed. 7s from the judges, 50.40. A very good job in this first dive by the young Italian diver. Next up, Simon Gray, inward 2.5 somersault tuck, 2.7 degree of difficulty for the British diver. Another clean entry. The jump is not very strong off the springboard. He did pick up enough speed to get completely vertical, and especially the entry was very, very clean. 240.65, and he's in second place. Third diver, Eric Richter, forward 2.5 somersault pike. We have 3 divers born in 2010, so in the first year in this age group, first time at Junior European Championship for them. One of them is Eric. He did a good job in his forward 2.5 somersault. Excuse me, I apologize. Eric was born in December 2009. Still very young, but in the second year in this age group. 6.5 for Eric. Does a good job in his forward 2.5 somersault pike. Not very fast in the somersault, other than that, quite clean and good. Next up, Baptiste Alamano. Back 2.5 somersault tuck for him, 2.8 degree of difficulty. Nice job on the kick. Very fast coming out of that somersault to stop as much as possible the rotation. That was extremely fast, slightly short, over. 54.60, and Baptiste in third place. Still in the lead, the Italian diver Marco Valenti at the moment, who did a very good job with the required dives early in the morning. Took an advantage there. Finnish diver Veikka Kaupinen, inward 2.5 somersault tuck. And Veikka is not tight enough at all in the entry here, quite arch, and also splits his feet and legs. Judges easily notice that. 4.5, 5.5 for him. Only 40.50 points for the Finnish diver. Alexandre Tsogomelidze, inward 2.5 somersault tuck for the Georgian diver. 48 points on this dive in the morning. It seemed like it was, yeah, definitely. We saw it here also when he got in the water from the underwater camera. Completely tilted to the right side of the board. Some judges noticed that more than others. Scores that go between 5 and 6.5. A little disagreement there by the judges. Forward 2.5 somersault full twist, a 3.0 degree of difficulty for Anton Pinkowski. Anton starts his final at 186 points. Does a good job here. A little bit off rhythm coming down from the hurdle. A lot of noise when he gets on the board from the hurdle. Overall, a good dive and high degree of difficulty, 3.0, 58.50, and he's in second place right now. Davide Barberi, the Italian diver, also for him a forward 2.5 somersault full twist, and Davide needs 54.40 points to take the lead. Very fast in the somersault and twist, not high enough to get it vertical. The Italian diver ends up going too short in the entry. Fives for him. 45 points even for him. 240.02. Excuse me, 240.20. And Davide is in sixth place right now. Pierre de Persine, back 2.5 somersault tuck for the French diver. Pierre did an extremely good job this morning on the reverse 2.5 somersault. Also on this back, 56 points on this back 2.5 somersault tuck in the morning, but especially the reverse 2.5 somersault tuck was excellent. Not that great here this afternoon for Pierre on the first optional. 56 points again was his score on this dive in the morning. He shakes his head, not excited about this dive. 46.20, and he's in seventh place right now. Dimitro Stepanov, same dive for the Ukrainian. $197 points for Dimitro after 5 rounds this morning, and needs 52 points on this dive to take the lead. Still, Marco Valenti, the first diver in this final, is still in the lead. Another dive, just like Pierre de Persine, way over-rotated dive by the Ukrainian diver. and only 5.5s for him. 46.20 points. He's in third place at the moment. Next up, Finn Aue, the German diver, inward 2.5 somersault tuck. Very strong German diver. He needs 54.75 points to take the lead. Did a little mistake in the required dives this morning on the reverse dive. Only 6s for him on that dive. Oh, excellent, excellent inward 2.5 somersault tuck. Very well executed. Also this morning he did great on this dive. 62 points this morning, 59 today. He takes the lead at 254.25. An amazing job. Very strong German diver. Goes up in the air very fast in the somersault and extremely clean entry. He has almost 5 points lead in front of Marco Valenti. Now the winner of this morning prelims, Valery Maliev, inward 2.5 somersault tuck, also for the Ukrainian diver. Good dive, not as high and close to the board as the German diver before him, but definitely also the Ukrainian diver is very clean in the entry. 58.05, and he's in first. We have the rankings now on screen. Valery Maliev in first, as I said. Finn Aue in second, and Marco Valenti in third right now. And Marco Valenti is on the board ready. You can see him for his second dive of the final. A forward 2.5 somersault pike. 2.4 degree of difficulty. Marco is one of the divers from in first year in the age group, in this age group. First experience for him at Junior European Championship. A clean dive, very nice entry. Again, not very strong, could jump higher and spin faster probably, but does a good job with this dive. 6.5. Not excellent, but no mistakes for the young Italian diver here, who takes the lead at 296.40. Simon Greig, back 2.5 somersault tuck for the British diver. 55 points, 55.75 to take the lead in front of the Italian diver, which has performed this dive. Oh, excellent entry on this back 2.5 somersault tuck by Simeon. Very, very clean, no splashes at all. 7.5, 7.5, and 7, and with 61.60, Simeon takes the lead. Excellent execution. Perfect, perfect dive. Eric Richter, also for the Austrian diver, a back 2.5 somersault tuck. For Eric this morning on this dive, only 5s from the judges, only 42 points, and also today is not an excellent dive, way too arched, in the entry, not clean. 4.5, 5.5, only 40 points, and he sits at 283.10. Baptiste Alamanno ready, the French diver ready. 7th place for him after the previous round, and he's showing us an inward 2.5 somersault tuck. Oh, good, very, very clean in the entry. Not the highest inward 2.5 somersault tuck we have seen today. Definitely clean in the entry. 7s, needed more height in the dive. He seems pretty happy with that. 299 points. At the moment he's in second place. Veikka Kauppinen, back 2.5 somersault tuck for the Finnish diver. Veka picks up his knees from the board before jumping, so he gets in a tuck position ahead of time and doesn't have enough speed in the somersault to get vertical, quite short, 260.30 points. He's in 5th place. Alexandre Sokomelidze, 11th place for him right now. Well, before, excuse me, not right now, but after the first round of optionals. And for Alexander, forward 3.5 somersault pike. Very good dive. This is the hardest dive in this final 2.1 degree of difficulty. And Alexander does an amazing job, especially in the final part of the dive in the lineup, 6.5, 60.45 points. Good job by the Georgian diver. 284.65. Should be should gain some spots in the rankings after this dive, Alexander. Anton Pinkowski, forward 3.5 somersault tuck for the German diver. And for Anton, a little struggle on the board there, not the greatest hurdle, and same as they did in the round before, struggle with the rhythm on the board, but overall does a good job lining up the dive at the end of the 3.5 somersault, 6.5s for him. We have Davide Barberi on the board now, same dive for the young Italian diver. Wow, great dive by Davide. Amazing entry. He's so fast in the somersault. Doesn't take him long to finish that 3.5 somersaults, and a perfect entry. 8, 7.5, 7.5, 64.40. Amazing job. 304.60. He takes the lead. Pierre de Persen. Reverse 2.5 somersault tuck for the French diver. Great dive by this French diver in the morning in this round. 65.80 points on this dive for Pierre in the morning. Let's see what he does today. And another great entry. The dive was very high up in the air, but I gotta say, pulled with his shoulders quite a bit in the takeoff, a little bit close to the board, but not dangerously. So 8, 8, 8, even a 9 from judge number 3, and Pierre seems very happy with his performance. Great job again by the French diver. 67.20, even better than the morning, the best dive of the afternoon final so far. 303, and he's right behind Davide Barberi, just 1 point behind. They're all very, very close. All very, very close. Exciting competition once again. Inward 2.5 somersault tuck by Dimitro Stepanov. Dimitro needed 61 points. Let's see what the judges think. 61 to take the lead. It doesn't take the lead, but they're all right there. 7, 7, and 7.5. Exciting event. They're all very, very close. Well, we see Finn dive perform his forward 3.5 somersault tuck. Finn needs 50 points. And between Davide Barberi, who is in the lead, and his teammate Marco Valenti, who's in 6th place, only 8 points. Oh, what a great dive by Finn Aue. So strong off the board, very high. Perfect speed in the somersault and an incredible entry. Well, he takes the lead by quite a bit, 321.45. Finn is doing an excellent job this afternoon. 17 points lead for Finn. And we see Valery Maliayev forward 3.5 somersault tuck also for him. And it doesn't do as great as the German did. Over rotates in the entry. It seemed like buckled a little bit with his knees when on the board. He didn't take a great jump, didn't get a great jump off the board. 6 points behind Finn, who is now leading this final. Wow, this is exciting. Look at the scores. Finn in first, 321. Valerie in second, 315. And look at the others, all so close. Between Davide Barberi in third and Marco Valenti in ninth place. They're all very close. Huge battle. We start that battle now. Huge battle for medals. 2 more rounds. We start with Marco Valenti, a reverse 2.5 somersault tuck for the young Italian diver. Big mistake for him in the prelims on this dive. Didn't score much. And does a much better job here. Not very strong off the board. Takes him quite a bit to finish those 2.5 somersaults. But 50.40 points, not too bad, not too bad. 6s from the judges. Well, he scored 26 points, so he's almost twice as much in the afternoon on this dive for Marco. Simeon Gregg now for the British diver. The same dive as the Italian diver just did. And also we'll see this dive by Eric Richter from Austria after. And big mistake for Simeon, completely over-rotated this dive. Flew over, kicked way too late, past the vertical line, ideal vertical line of the entry. Waited way too long. Only 29.40 points for him. 331 points for the British diver. Eric Richter now again a reverse 2.5 somersault tuck. Back to back reverses. And also Eric doesn't do a great job with his reverse 2.5 somersault tuck. While Simeon went way too far over, Eric leaves the dive way too short. Only 25 points for Eric. Huge mistake by the Austrian diver. We still have Marco Valenti in the lead at the moment. Baptiste Alamanno now. Forward 3.5 somersault tuck for the French diver. And also Baptiste makes a mistake here. Drops his head and shoulders when coming out of the somersault. Lets the legs fly over. 32.20 points. We have after a great second round of optionals by these divers, we're seeing some mistakes here in this third round of optionals. Reverse 2.5 somersault tuck for Veikka Kauppinen. And he does a good job, a nice dive, clean entry, not completely straight when he got in the water. It seemed like after he kicked, he never completely got straight, but overall, good job. 56 points is the best optional in this round. 316, too many mistakes earlier in the competition for Veikka to be in the battle for a medal, unfortunately for him. But this dive was very well executed. Alexandre Sokomelidze from Georgia forward 2.5 somersault, full twist. Nice, another great forward somersaulting dive by the Georgian diver. He was at 284, turning a little bit behind, but does an amazing job here and is now very close to Marco Valenti, just 3 points behind, 6.5 on this forward 2.5 somersault full twist. Definitely has Alexander has a high degree of difficulty, so that is helping him. Anton Pinkowski from Germany, back 2.5 somersault tuck. Another one of those divers in the battle at 299.40. That's where he was sitting after 2 optionals, halfway through the final. Just 5 points behind Davide Barberi, who was in 3rd place. Good dive. Didn't press the board correctly. He was sitting back a little bit. That caused the dive to fall back, but definitely an excellent understanding of where he is in the air and a great kick out of the somersault. Anton takes the lead. 12 points ahead of Marco Valenti. Davide Barberi now needs 54 points to take the lead, and he's gonna show us a back 2.5 somersault tuck as well as the German diver before him. Oh, great entry. Davide knows exactly when is the right time to kick out of that somersault. Also, as well as the German, he's a little bit too far back, but very clean entry. And with 363.40, he takes the lead. Pierre de Persine, forward 3.5 somersault tuck for the French diver on the 3-meter springboard. Good job by Pierre. He was right behind Davide Barberi in the rankings before this dive. Probably not going to score as much as the Italian, but definitely close to that. He's still very close, 353.45. Not a bad dive, slightly over-rotated. Now from Ukraine, Dmytro Stepanov. Dmytro needs 62 points to take the lead on this forward 3.5 somersault pike. Hardest dive of the afternoon. We've seen it already by the Georgian diver in the previous round, and Dmytro does an amazing job. This is most likely, in my opinion, going to be the highest scoring dive, and it is 74.40. Look at that. 8.88 are the scores that count, even 2 8.5s for the Ukrainian diver. Amazing job. 375. He has now 12 points lead ahead of Davide Barberi. Amazing forward 3.5 somersault pike, putting pressure on Finn Aue. Back 2.5 somersault tuck for the German diver, who needs 54.35 points. Oh, another excellent dive by Finn this morning for him on this dive, 58.80 points, and exactly the same score, 7th from the judges. Exactly the same score, 380. With 380, Finn is now back in the lead, 5 points ahead of Dmytro Stepanov. Let's see the last diver of this round. He was in second place, Valery Maleyev, forward 2.5 somersault full twist. Oh, what a nice forward 2.5 somersault full twist by Valery. Nice, very high in the air and clean in the positions in the air. 378.70, second place. Before the last round of dives, we have still Finn Aue in first place, but look at that. Anything can happen. We will have to wait until the very last dive with Valery Maleyev before we know who wins this competition, because just 1.55 points separate Finn and Valery, but also look at Dmytro Stepanov, just 4 points behind the leader. We start the last round of dives with Marco Valenti on the springboard, inward 2.5 somersault tuck. Nice dive, not very clean in the entry. He started the somersault a little bit too early before the springboard helped him more to get up in the air, but 6s from the judges. Overall, an excellent competition by the Italian diver at his first ever Junior European Championship. He closes at 395 points. Now, British diver Simeon Greig, forward 2.5 somersault full twist for him. Good job, very fast in the somersault and twist. Not very high, but a clean vertical entry, 58.50. Great dive by Simon Greig, I liked it. Eric Richter, inward 2.5 somersault tuck for the Austrian diver, who was in 12th place after 3 optionals. Let's see how he closes. A good dive, splits his feet when getting in the water. That is easily noticeable by the judges. 6s and 48.60 for him on this last round. Baptiste Alamano, 10th place for him before this last dive. Forward 2.5 somersault, full twist for him. Completely to the corner. Oh, uneven passes. Completely missed hurdle for Baptiste in the corner and over the end with his toes. He did not have enough height to get vertical, needs to bend his knees when he's in the twist. Huge miss on this round for the French diver. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the scores from the judges, I'm checking what the scores on the last dive this morning were for Valery Maliev, Finn Aue, and Dimitro Stepanov. What we see on the board, we have Finnish diver. They cut forward 3.5 somersault tuck for him. It gets in a tuck position ahead of time, rolls very fast, spins very fast in the air, but rolls over in the entry, doesn't get his legs completely straight. 4.5, 5.5, and he closes at 3:56.90. So as I was saying, I was checking the scores of the morning for the top 3 ranked divers after this last round of dives. Well, we have back 2.5 somersault tuck by Alexander Sokomelidze on the board ready now. A bit slow when somersaulting. He needed more speed in that tuck position and falls short. 6.5, 396.35. He gets the lead right now in front of Marco Valenti by 1 point. German diver Anton Pinkowski, reverse 2.5 somersault tuck for him. And Anton was trailing behind by quite a bit, 17 points behind the third. Oh, huge mistake and a failed dive by Anton, completely over the end with his foot. He doesn't even complete the 2.5 somersault because he had no chance at all. And a failed dive. Davide Barberi now, also for Davide, reverse 2.5 somersault tuck. And after watching the German diver missing completely the hurdle and failing the dive, hopefully he stays focused. A good dive by Davide. Also Davide slightly over the end of the board and jumps quite far away from the springboard, but does an excellent job kicking out of the somersault and lining up. 7s for him, 420.80 points. Now we have Davide Barberi in the lead, waiting for 4 more divers to go. And the first one of these divers is Pierre de Persin, 67.35 to take the lead in this 1.5 somersault triple twister. For him this morning, 54 points. So needs to do much better than that. At least 7.5s for him to take the lead. Not gonna happen. Way too short. Way too short on this dive. The French diver. He's not gonna score much. Didn't have enough somersault to get vertical. 390.95 for Pierre. And that means fourth place at the moment for him. We still have Davide Barberi in the lead. Dimitro Stepanov now forward 2.5 somersault pike with full twist, 58 points in the morning on this dive, and that will give him the lead. He only needs 45 to take the lead. He's gonna score much more than 58. Much better than the morning. Very clean in the somersault and twist, and a perfect entry. 7.5, and 8. 69 points. Dimitro takes the lead at 444.80. That's the bar for gold right now. Let's see Finn Awe. Let's see what he does on his last dive. Forward 2.5 somersault full twist also for him, and needs 64.55. Over the end. Oh, what a great job recovering from that hurdle. Completely over the end, from coming down from the hurdle. 58.50. Finn Awe is in second place right now at 438.75. Huge mistake on the hurdle for the German diver. And let's see the last dive of the competition. Valery Malyeyev, he was in second before this round. Reverse 2.5 somersault tuck for him. And he needs 66.10, very difficult. He needs high scores. And probably not gonna happen. He's probably not gonna get ahead of his teammate. Slightly short and quite heavy in the entry. Let's see though what the judges think. 58.80. Valery Malyeyev, after winning prelims, gets bronze in the final. Third place. Wait. Unfortunately for him, not an excellent dive in the last round. And we have the final results. Dimitro Stepanov, 444.80. Finn Awe, 438.75. And Valery Malyeyev in third place, 437.50. Just 1 point behind the German diver. Well, this has been fun. It has been decided at the very end. We see the ladies and one boy on the springboards. The ladies getting ready. I was saying the ladies because that will be the next competition. Next competition will be the girls A and B group Synchro 3 meter springboard final. And that will take place in a little bit more than 45 minutes, 6:30. I am Michele Benedetti. I'll be back here again at 6:30 for the last final of the day. Come, if you want to take a break, make sure you come back for that. It will be another interesting and fun event to watch. See you in a bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Last final of the day. Girls, 3-meter springboard, synchronized springboard final. First team up, Team Ukraine, Ksenia Bocek and Elizaveta Diadiuk. Second team, Nazanin Elai and Amelie Forster from Romania. Third team, Caitlin Koster and Amelie Underwood. Fourth team from Georgia, Maria Mishanidze and Takle Sharia. Fifth team from Sweden, Vilma Osk and Emma Ricatti. Next from Hungary, Emma Louise Kelly and Panna Joavai. From Germany, Eliana Reis and Zoe Schneider. Next up from Turkey, Simay Arslan and Ece Erzinas. Alexandra Giampietro and Natalia Pivovarska from Poland. And from Italy, Giorgia Di Santis and Rebecca Giancasini. Now the judges are presented. 9 total judges, 5 for execution, individual execution, and 4 for individual execution and 5 for synchronization. Last year, this event was won by Team Great Britain with Evie Smith and Tilly Brown, who are not in the junior level anymore. They are too old to be at Junior Europeans this year. Total score of 268.80 for them last year, way ahead of everyone else. They won with 37 points, with a 37 points gap between them and the silver medalist Team Italy. You have the judges on screen, 4 for individual execution and 5 for synchro, as I said before. The top individual execution score and the lowest one are dropped, and also the top synchro and the lowest synchro score are dropped. Last year, 15 teams in this event. This year, we have 10. And here you have the dive order once again. By rule, 4 out of the 5 groups of dives must be performed in this competition. So the ladies are allowed to double up in one group. They could use all 5 groups if they wish, but I am checking that all the teams are doubling up either on backwards on the back somersaulting group or the inward. Yes, all the groups are none of the groups are doing all 5 groups. Either they're doubling up on the inwards or on the backs. We are starting with Team Ukraine on the board. Ksenia Bocek and Elizaveta Diadiuk, inward dive pike. Nice synchro, perfect timing off the board and in the water. Good dive, could have been sharper by both divers, a little bit more elegant in the air. 48 points. That's a very good dive. Next up, on the springboards, we have the Romanians. For them, for Nazanin and Amelie, also an inward dive pike. Also, they take off at the same time and get in the water together. Perfect distance by both divers from the board. 46.20 is also a good result with a required dive, with a voluntary dive. I remind you, the first 2 rounds of dives have a degree of difficulty for every single dive stuck at 2.0. Now, Coster and Underwood, the British divers, Caitlin and Amelie. For them, a back dive pike. Excellent synchronization. In this case, Amelie ends up going too far over when getting in the water, passes the vertical line, and the scores for Synchro drop a little bit. 7, 7, 8, 8, and 7.5. The top and lowest scores are dropped, so 7 and 8 in Synchro are dropped, and a total of 43 points. Now from Georgia, Mariami and Tekle. Mariami Shanidze and Tekle Sharia. Back dive pike. These two divers, they've been 3 weeks ago, they were at the Senior European Championship in Belgrade. They did compete in this Synchro event, gained some experience there, and they're here trying to do their best. Once again, Mariami and Tekle score 42.60 here. The dive was good. Could have done a better job in the entries. Not particularly clean. They're in 4th at the moment. Next up, Team Hungary, Emma and Team Sweden first. Went too fast there. Vilma and Emma from Sweden, back 1.5 somersault, half twist. Oh, a very nice dive. Sweden got bronze last year in this event with Signe Stahl and Anna Torstensson. Different pair of divers here. Very good, very well executed back 1.5 somersault half twist there in 3rd place at 45.60. And now we have Team Hungary on the board. Emma and Panna. For them, a back dive pike. Big miss here by Emma. Completely piked in the water. She came out the right time. They were together, and then when getting in the water, she just gets back in a pike position. 6 and 5 for her from the judges. 38-40. Big mistake in that entry. That's why the synchronization judges dropped their scores. Now Team Germany on the board. Aliana and Zoe. Inward dive pike for them. good dive. They didn't jump very high. I gotta say, could have been both dives could have been higher in the air, but definitely perfect timing and a good execution technically of the dive. Good entries, 45 points. And they are in 4th place right now. Now, Team Turkey on the springboard. For the Turkish divers, Simay and Ece, any more dive pike also, just like the Germans before them. Good synchro. They're together in the water, and once again, it's another dive that just doesn't seem very strong off the board. The dives are well executed. 7.5. It's a good synchronization overall. Could have been stronger off the board to get higher scores. On the board now, Polish team. Aleksandra Giampietro and Natalia Piwowarska. Back dive pike for them. Different distance from the board by the two divers, the two Polish divers. They don't end up falling in the water at the same distance from the board. They got that part wrong. Other than that, the timing was correct. 40.20 points, 8th place for them. We are almost done with round number 1. We only have one more team for this first dive. And it's an inward dive pike for Team Italy. Giorgia and Rebecca on the board. Rebecca was 2nd in this event last year with a different synchro partner, with Elisa Pizzini. Excellent dive by the Italians. Much stronger than other dives we've seen in this first round. Very high and perfect clean entries. They take the lead. Excellent dive by the Italians. 50.40 points. And we have the rankings, standing speed after the first round of dives. Italy in first, followed by Ukraine, and right after that, Romania. They're all still very close. Still a long way to go. 4 more rounds. We start the second round of dives. Team Ukraine on the springboard for 1.5 somersault pike. Huge mistake. Oh, wow. Huge mistake by Team Ukraine. Elisaveta Diadiuk completely to the corner of the springboard. Takeoffs way ahead of time, way far from the board, and completely flat on her back. Huge mistake for one of the teams that was looking for a medal here this afternoon. Only 22 points here for Team Ukraine. Team Romania now. Back dive pike. Well, this huge miss by Team Ukraine, and they can still recover. They probably lost at least 20 points on this dive. They could still recover, but this dive could open doors for teams that had less chances of getting a medal. A good timing in this dive for Team Romania, but completely missed back dive pike by Amelie Forster. Quite twisted in the entry, and only 6 and 5.5 for her. 7th in synchro. That twist at the bottom for Amelie dropped the synchro scores because overall the timing was very good. Team Great Britain now. We have Caitlin Coaster and Amelie Underwood on the board for their back 1.5 somersault, half twist. Good synchronization. Very, very well timed off the board and in the air. They do the exact same movements at this exact same time. 43.20. They are in second place at the moment, behind Team Romania. Next up, Team Georgia. For Mariami and Tekle, a reverse dive pike. Excellent timing in this reverse dive pike by the Georgians. Different distance from the board. Tekle jumped further away. Mariami is further away. Not bad timing overall. Don't know why the 4.5 in individual execution there. Probably the distance from the board bothered the judges there. Overall, a good timed dive for the Georgians, who are now at 81.60. Team Sweden on the board, back dive pike. And these Swedish divers are perfectly synchronized. They're also, both of them, over in the entry, past the vertical line. In this case, was Vilma further away from the board. Overall, the synchronization is not bad at all. But her scores individual 5.5 and 6. That's why they lose some points there. Team Hungary on the board. Team Hungary with Emma Louise and Panna on the board, ready for their reverse dive pike. And in this case, the two pike positions, the reverse dive pike, when the divers were going to touch their toes in the pike position, that happened in a different speed, one ahead of the other, and that drops the score to 7th in Synchro. 40.80 there in 5th place right now. We have Team Germany, same dive for them. They were at 45 points after the first round. With another 45 points dive, that would take the lead. I don't know if that's going to score 45 points. They were not together in the air here. They moved at different times, exactly 41.40. They're in 3rd place. A little mistake here by Team Germany. I was expecting a bit better by them. Definitely at different speed in the air, different movements for them. Turkey now. Ece and Simay. For them, a back dive pike. Good dive by the Turkish divers. Not very fast. I would say it was falling in the water instead of jumping high. But that's the reason for the lower individual scores for the execution. But definitely well synchronized, 7th for them. Now, Polish divers, Aleksandra Gianpietro and Natalia Piwowarska. For them, a back 1.5 somersault, half twist. water, but good job. They get 40.80 points, better than, oh no, not better than the first round, around the same score, but definitely a good average there. 81 points for them. They're in 7th place, but they're very, very close. Just 7 points from the leaders. Team Italy now. For Team Italy, only 37.80 points to take the lead with their back dive pike. And they are going to take the lead here. It's a very well executed back dive pike. Very high and fast in the movements in the air. Good entries, and with 97.80, they have 9 points. 9 points lead in front of Team Sweden, who is in 2nd, and Romania in 3rd. 10 points behind the Italians. But look at that, the scores. The rankings after 2 rounds, the required dives, 2.0 degree of difficulty stuck in these first 2 rounds. Now things will get more interesting, more somersaulting, more twisting for everyone from now on. Team Ukraine, we start with their inward 2.5 somersault tuck after a big mistake in the previous round. They are now 27 points behind Team Italy. They'll need some excellent diving if they want to get back on track. They're 18 points behind the Team Sweden, who were in 2nd. Good dive, perfect synchronization, very fast somersault, both divers. The kicks out of this inward 2.5 somersault tuck did not convince me, but they were perfectly in synchro. 7th individuals and 7.5, 8 in synchro. 60.75 is an excellent job on this first optional for Team Ukraine. Next up, Amelie and Nazanin from Romania. They are showing us a forward 2.5 somersault pike. Completely different hurdles. Nazanin, in this case, is way ahead of time. Even circles are not quite too early on that hurdle. Struggle there. Way too early. Bad synchronization in this dive. Only 36 points for them. And Team Ukraine gets ahead of Romania with this first optional. Great Britain on the board. Also for them a forward 2.5 somersault pike. Much better dive than Great Britain for them. In this case, it's Caitlin Custer who ends up going slightly over. That's the reason why they're not getting higher than 7s in synchro. They're getting 6.5, 7, 7.5, and in order to get higher scores, they should have been both perfectly straight in the water. That did not happen in this case. Inward 2.5 somersault tuck now for Team Georgia, who was in 7th place before this 3rd round of dives. Good dive by the Georgians. Tiny bit ahead of time, Mariami on the takeoff. Slightly ahead of time, but definitely good when they got in the water. Both fairly straight in the entry. Vertical and straight, 51 points for them. Next up, Team Sweden. Back 2.5 somersault tuck. Well, we saw the Georgian getting 2nd place right now in the rankings. Back to a somersault, as I said, for Vilma and Emma. And difference there in the entries. One is short, one is over, one is closer to the board, one is further away. Not a good synchro for Team Sweden. In this round, only 6s in synchro and 4.5s individually. 45.36, and they are in second place at 133 with Team Georgia. Very, very close all together. Still the teams, we have now the top 4 ranked divers within 4 points. So now Team Hungary, Kelly and Jovai, forward 2.5 somersault pike for them. It's a good synchro, not a great entry. One very clean. It's Emma Louise Kelly on the further away from the camera, very clean entry for her, while her teammate Hannah did not get as clean, slightly short, and especially a lot of splashes out of the water on this forward 2.5 somersault pike. Now Team Germany, who are also showing us a forward 2.5 somersault pike. I gotta say, in this event, not very high degree of difficulties. Easy list. Divers decide to do easier dives and risk less. Forward 2.5 somersault pike for the Germans. Well executed. A good synchronization. Not moving very fast in the air, but definitely good enough to take the lead at 138 points, 3 points ahead of the British divers. Now, Team Turkey for 1.5 somersault, full twist. This is an extremely easy dive, easy twisting dive. Usually we see this dive as a required dive. So. The timing is okay off the board and in the water. They touch the water together at the same time. Definitely twisting and spinning in the air in different ways. They don't show that image of from the side to the judges. It doesn't look like there's only one diver performing the dive when watching from the side, so that it's easy to notice. And Team Turkey, after the first optional, is at 125 points. Team Poland now back to 2.5 somersault tuck. For Team Poland, 57 points to take the lead. And with 50, they are in 5th place ahead of Ukraine, that is sitting in 5th place, and they're all very, very close. No, we're not going to have this. Let's go very low. Team Poland took off. Both divers took off at the same time. Was perfect takeoff, but then way ahead of time on the kick. Natalia, way too short, only 3 and 3.5 for her. 42.84 points. And they are in 8th place at the moment. Huge mistake for Poland. We have Team Italy on the board now, ready for their forward 2.5 somersault pike. For Team Italy, 40 points. 40.44 are enough to take the lead. And they are going to get 44 points, but I gotta say the timing off the board and in the air wasn't perfect. Spinning at different times, somersaulting at different times, Georgia and Rebecca, but definitely enough to take a 13-point lead now. Almost 13 points lead. Italy is still leading after the first optional. 2 more rounds to go. You see the standings here. Italy, Germany, and Great Britain. Look at that. Germany in 2nd place, all the way down to 6th place. Ukraine, who recovered very well on this first optional. They are all within 7 points. So we have 5 teams in 7 points. Italy ahead of everyone else with quite a lead. Now, first dive of the fourth round is Team Ukraine, and they're showing us a back 2.5 somersault tuck. And another mistake for them. The divers end up being one over and one short. Not very good. Elisaveta ended up going over, while her teammate Ksenia was quite short. Not a great scoring dive, high scoring dive in this case for Team Ukraine. Team Romania, Amelie and Nazanin, for them an inward 2.5 somersault tuck. A good timing off the board. Not both divers are not very strong in the jump. They are quite low in the takeoff and end up being short. Synchronization was okay, but the dives should have been better. 174.03, and they are behind Team Ukraine and the moment. 13 in this fourth round. Great Britain, they were in third place after the first optional. They're doing a back 2.5 somersault tuck. Caitlin and Amelie need 45 points to pass the Ukrainians. Excellent dive. They are always together in the somersault. Amelie, Caitlin disappears underwater. An incredible good entry for her. I thought individually it was better than that, better than 5.5s, but the judges know better than me. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to argue with their decision. 7.5 in synchro. Very, very good synchronization for the British. Now, Team Georgia, one of the teams that was in that group within 7 points after the first optional. For them, a forward 2.5 somersault pike. Good dive in synchro. They just don't get a very good rhythm. Both of them, luckily for them, they both do this mistake on the board, a little bit off rhythm with the board, and in the entry they are again together, but still a little bit piked. 179.52, and they are in third place, just 2 points behind Team Ukraine. Sweden now on the board. They were fourth after the third round of dives, and they are showing us a forward 2.5 somersault pike. And not bad. The timing was good. They do individually good dives, just completely different distances from the board. Emma was way too far from the board when getting in the water. 6.5 in synchro. That's the reason why the synchronization scores dropped. 179.64 for them. And they're still, all the teams are still very close from each other. Team Hungary now, for them, inward 2.5 somersault tuck. The Hungarians need 65 points on this dive, which, of course, a very good dive, and that is not the case. Different takeoffs. One short, one over. A lot of mistakes on this dive, unfortunately, for the young Hungarian divers. You see the synchro scores just go down to 5. They do their dives at completely different ways at completely different times. It looked like they forgot about each other there, on starting from takeoff and all the way into the entry. Team Germany now, Zoe and Aliana. For them, a back 2.5 somersault turn. For the Germans, 51 points to take the lead in front of the British divers. As of right now, Great Britain, Ukraine, and Sweden are in the top 3 spots of the rankings. Excellent back 2.5 somersault tuck by the Germans. Very well executed. Nice entries. Let's see what the judges think. Yeah, 63 points. 8 and 8.5 for Synchro. And very good entries. Give them a total of 63 points. They take the lead, 201, and now we are not that close anymore. Germany took a big step forward towards the medal. And Turkey on the board. For Turkey, Team Turkey forward 2.5 somersault pike. And not great entries. The problem started for HA on the hurdle. Big step back from the drive step and ahead of time compared to her teammate Simai. So under 68.96 points, and this is quite a mistake on an easy forward 2.5 somersault pike. Alexandra and Natalia from Poland, they're doing a forward 2.5 somersault pike also. Once again, off rhythm from the hurdle. They recover. You gotta say they recovered very well, but that drive step, completely different jumps from the two Polish divers. One stronger than the other and higher on the hurdle. Then they managed to get somewhat together in the entries. Scores that go between 6 and 7. 169 points for the Polish team. Team Italy now, the leaders throughout the whole competition. They had quite an advantage after the first optional. They need 50 points to get ahead of Team Germany with their forward 2.5 somersault full twist, 3.0 degree of difficulty, the hardest dive of the competition. Too bad for Rebecca Ciancalini's entry. The synchronization was perfect. Georgia De Sanctis does a good job with her dive. Rebecca Ciancalini, I guess she dropped her head in the entry, only 4.5s for her. They do take the lead though, only 1 point ahead of the Germans. They lose their advantage with just this one dive. We have the rankings now. Italy is still leading, but now only 1 point ahead of Team Germany. And look at that, only 12 points behind, less than 12 points behind their Team Great Britain. Anything can still happen. Another exciting event in Rzeszów this week. We are starting with Team Ukraine, 4th place for them. I gotta say, 20 points behind the Germans and the Italians. It's quite a big gap for having only one dive left in their list. 21 points behind the Italians and 20 points behind the Germans. Probably not fighting for a gold here, and I'm going to tell you they're most likely not even getting medals this time. Ukraine, not an excellent event for the young ladies. Completely different timing in the kick, one way too short. Yelizaveta, not a great day for her at the pool today, 3 and 2.5 for her. Only 36 points, and Team Ukraine closes at 211. Team Romania, back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist for Nazanin and Amelie. I was checking, the Romanians need 44 points to beat the Ukrainians, who are leading at the moment. But the Ukrainians are just 15 points ahead of the Italians. Good job. Their best optional for sure. The Ukrainians do a good job here. Nazanin slightly further away from the springboard. The degree of difficulty is lower, so don't know if it's going to be the highest scoring optional, but definitely technically was the best one. 47-52. They're at 221 ahead of the Ukrainians. Now we have Team Great Britain, third place for them before this last round, inward 2.5 somersault tuck. And they had 10 points gap between them and Sweden. That was 2 spots behind the rankings, but the huge mistake of Ukraine, I guess Sweden should pass Team Ukraine. So to keep the medal, they do a great job. They should keep a spot on the podium. Now it will depend by Germany and Italy what medal Team Great Britain is gonna get. They take the lead at 245.04 with 55 points on the last dive. Well executed, both divers could have been straighter in the entry. But overall, a very good job by the British divers. And now Team Georgia, back 2.5 somersault tuck for Tekle and for Tekle and Mariami. 65.52 points to beat the British. Probably very hard. 42 to get ahead of the Romanians. Oh no, that is not gonna happen. Not even in front of the Romanians. Huge mistake on this last round for a team that has been diving very well throughout the day. A big mistake here on the last round. They both come out way too early for that kind of somersault. They close at 2:19.84, just in front of Team Ukraine. Now Vilma and Emma from Sweden, 65 points to be ahead of Team Great Britain, and 42 to be ahead of Romania on this inward 2.5 somersault tuck. A good dive in Synchro. Both divers, unfortunately for them, they do not have enough space and momentum to get their legs straight when getting in the water. See, the Synchro was good. The legs weren't straight in the entry. That's why the 6 and 5.5 in the individual score. But with 51.84 points, they are in second place at the moment. Team Hungary, I was checking now what Team Italy and Team Germany need to beat Great Britain 42 and 43 with their last dive, while we watch Team Hungary, who unfortunately for them has no chance of getting a medal. I was checking Team Germany has inward 2.5 somersault tuck, while the Italians have also inward 2.5 somersault tuck. So it's a fight, it's a battle between whoever does better this last dive. Well, we saw Team Hungary missing one more time this dive. Emma Louise quite short in the entry and ahead of time. Team Hungary are done now with their competition. We have Team Germany on the board. I was saying the inward 2.5 somersault tuck. I was saying before how both teams, Italians and Germans, have this dive, so it's a matter of who does it better, because they only have 1 point difference between them, so very close competition between these two teams. First of all, they got to get ahead of Team Great Britain, though. And a good synchronization from the Germans, but definitely Zoe is over in her inward 2.5 somersault tuck. 55.89, 7th in Synchro because of that difference in the entry. 2:57.13 is the bar. We have set the bar for gold. And that means that Team Italy, 2:57. Italy needs 55 points, if I'm correct, to win the gold. We have on this springboard now Team Turkey, inward 2.5 somersault tuck also for them. And they're both quite short. A lot of upper body movement there while pressing on the board and jumping off. They do not pick up much speed to get vertical. 3.5 and 4 individually, and 5.5 and 6 in synchro due to the individual mistakes. We have Team Poland now on the springboard. Also for them, inward 2.5 somersault tucks, and that we will see the Italians do after the Polish divers to close the competition. Oh, off rhythm on the board. Off rhythm on the board, and both dives are quite short in this case. They do not do a great job. It's once again one of those dives that seems like after giving the time to take off, they take different roads to the water and different timing. Completely missed dive by the Polish. Now we have Team Italy on the board. They need 54.75. Inward 2.5 somersault tuck. This is the dive. See where the medals are going. For the Italians, they need 6.5s and 7s to get it. It's a good, perfect synchronization, but I gotta say, Rebecca Ciancaglini is quite short while Georgia ends up going over. Let's see what the judges think about this dive. Not enough for gold. The Italians lose the gold medal on their very last dive. Mistake in the entries for the Italians gives gold to Team Germany with a total score of 257.13. Italy in second at 252.60, and Great Britain at 245.04 takes the bronze. You can see the final rankings on screen. Another exciting competition that has been decided at the very last dive. In this case, unfortunately for Team Italy and luckily for Team Germany, the last team diving ended up not getting gold, but fun once again at the pool in Rzeszów. We are done with the finals today, and before I leave you with the victory ceremonies on deck, this schedule for tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Don't miss the girls A 3-meter springboard preliminary, and noon the boys on 10-meter for the platform preliminary. And then in the afternoon I will be back here at 4 for those finals at 4 and 5 o'clock. Girls A 3-meter springboard final, and at 5 the boys A platform final. The last two finals here in Rzeszów from this week of the European Aquatic Junior Diving Championship. As you can see on screen, in a few minutes, the victory ceremonies. I am Michele Benedetti. I'll be back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock sharp for you. See you then. Bye-bye. Have a great night.